So Johnny
All right,
Joestar
cool. All
basically.
right, I
One
started the
versus
recording.
Gojo.
What's your win condition?
My win condition, I'll just say test deck
Big
4
Blade, let it rip.
What?
or what's it called? The infinite rotational
Infinite
bullet.
rotation.
Yeah,
Oh,
Infinite rotation. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Sure. I'll just use like my win condition is Gojo's infinity.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go first.
So
I
when
swear I've seen this
test deck
video online.
4 shoots, you can say that Gojo's Infinity, it divides a projectile or anything coming at it to basically zero, right? The thing about test deck 4 is when it shoots the infinite rotational nails thingy, right? It traverses distance itself, as we saw with Funny Valentine, going to hopping dimensions, right? And it kept following him for eternity.
Okay,
So
cool.
basically, what you're saying is
Okay. So we were saying rotation. Is it like the notion of it, or just like rotation in general?
Well, he spins infinitely, and then
He spins infinitely. So yeah, is it like the okay, I'm asking you like is the notion like the notion is it like is
the
a notion
notion.
infinite or is it just like spinning entirely infinite? It's like two things.
So he just makes the duration of when he spins it is like this short, but he uses like infinite
Yeah.
energy. So
Yeah.
when a projectile shoots at you, right, it will just happen forever.
Okay,
The
yeah, I see
effect
what
of
you're
it.
talking about though, but the whole entire premise is, or my rebuttal would just be, if the notion itself is infinite, you can say this thing has a like,
yeah,
infinite
you're really about to
rotation
contradict your
or
brother.
whatever, but the notion in
Oh,
general or the speed
oh,
or the
so
movement or whatever has to be infinite to like
are
have
you
this,
trying to say?
bypass, win condition
Oh,
to
okay.
infinity.
Are you trying to say that if are you trying to say that could Gojo stop it before the activation of
No,
it?
no, 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 no. We're on your
My
burden
bad,
right now.
my
I'm
bad.
trying to negate. So I'm asking you to prove that like the notion itself, like the movement notion is infinite rather than just the rotation itself. Like for example, I can have like like a Beyblade, and it can just rotate forever, rather than notion itself or the speed. It's just going to be bound by like some type of
Oh yeah, yeah, it does.
Okay,
Cause
so the
I'm
notion is
remembering,
infinite, correct?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, you prove this. All right.
I'll just say when Johnny was going against Diego and before Diego won, when I was fighting on that bridge, there was a nail that was spinning forever, right? And it eventually reached it got up to Johnny.
Oh, oh, that doesn't prove what I asked you to.
Oh,
Like
I need
I already granted you the rotation itself can be just like infinite or whatever. I'm just arguing for the notion or the speed in general.
the speed would be like MFTO.
Okay, cool. So why does this bypass infinity then?
Because of the projectile itself.
Yeah, cool. That doesn't
Because
bypass infinity.
it bypasses
We can,
everything that's
yeah.
on its
I
way.
can say like if this thing were to interact the Gojo's infinity, it could just move or like infinitely whatever, but it wouldn't actually bypass this thing. So
Well, I mean,
infinity. I'm
eh,
still talking. I'm still talking. So infinity basically it just divided like it divides space whatever. And if you're saying this thing has a like infinite rotation, it wouldn't necessarily bypass it unless it's gonna have some type of infinite movement itself with the rotation that's going to help it bypass the infinity.
well, okay, it traverses distance.
What?
It traverses distance.
It reverses distance.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm confused now because now you're just adding like another premise. So you're saying that this thing rotates, and when it rotates, it divides distance.
It bypasses. I meant
It
transcend, not
bypasses
traverse.
distance.
Yes,
Okay, this is kind
that's
of
what I meant.
like a descriptive or like negative claim. I'm just gonna ask you to prove that. Like what?
Yeah, when he used it against Funny Valentine.
Hey, yeah, when? Like what? Hello?
When he was moving into
You're
different
not you're not you're
universes.
not given you're not given a concrete reason. You're just saying when this thing was used. You're not actually like explain the context or whatever.
The context is when it's shot when Suspect 4 or Johnny Joestar shoots it at Funny Valentine and he hops dimensions. It happens forever.
Okay, you're still. Oh my gosh. you're still arguing for the like the rotation rather than like the movement itself. Like
Yeah,
I
I
can
know.
say the rotation could just be corresponding to the movement, but when I reference movement, it's like the speed itself, like the speed this thing is going to, not the rotation. Like for example, I'm gonna like simplifies the Beyblade example, right? So if I have a Beyblade that's like and like infinitely rotating, right? It can just be bound by whatever like speed its endurance to while like or like while moving in like an infinite rotation. So the whole premise is right. It's just to prove that this movement or whatever is going to be infinite while having that infinite rotation. If not, that would just be a non sequitur. There's not going to be any like substance that's going to be able to move infinitely by rotation and not have like no infinite rotational movement.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead.
So okay, I'll just say test stack 4 rips infinity instead then.
Then that would just be wait, what?
Yeah, I'll just say test stack 4 rips
Okay,
infinity
okay,
instead
okay.
with his
Yeah,
hands.
then yeah, hold on. Then you would just be like making some other like, negative claim once again that doesn't really like justify the major premise you had to the justification of the proposition, which is be this thing bypassing infinity by some reason, right? You said the reason was infinite rotation. Now you're making another claim or another premise that would just be divided by the major premise which you had earlier. So which one is it? Are
Yeah,
you
I'm
like
I'm I'm
conceding?
adding I'm adding I'm adding a new premise.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm asking you, are you conceding the first premise?
No, I'm gonna use another one.
Okay, then. Okay, no, no, no. You can't. No, that's not how this works. Okay, we're going to stay on one premise, and once we're done with that premise, and we conclude on that premise and go to the other premise which we have right now. So I'm asking, do you want to conclude on this premise and go to the one that you like had told me about, or you want to stay on this premise?
No, we're gonna switch it off.
All right, cool.
Like
You can give your conclusion on this then.
the NBA, we gonna what I'm saying. I already had one there on the bench. I'm
You,
switching it off for
no, no,
Shaquille
no, no,
O'Neal, bro.
no, 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 no. That
Switching
that's
him off
not
for Shaquille
that's not
O'Neal.
that's not that's not how that works. Now, what?
No, but that's what I'm
That
gonna
would just
do.
be that would be kind of redundant. You just be going circular then. That's what I'm saying. We can just conclude on this first premise and go to your next one.
No, I'm about to just bring in Shaquille O'Neal.
You're gonna what?
I'm about to
Do I
bring in.
give verdict on do I give verdict on each premise or do I
I
just
mean,
give
yeah,
verdict
yeah,
on
yeah,
one of
yeah,
them?
yeah, yeah. Okay, so basically, give
I'll just
verdict.
concede on just to stop. I'll just stop being petty.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, cool. He concedes then. So I guess I won this point. You can go on to your next premise then.
All right. Test Tech 4 rips open infinity
Okay, why?
because he ripped infinite dimensions.
He ripped infinite dimensions. So I'm confused.
Yeah.
Is this like the stance in general or like the user?
The stand.
The stance. Okay. So what? Okay, I'm confused. So your proposition was a character, right? The character wasn't the stance at first.
Well, I'm saying this. I never referred to Test Tech 4 as Johnny. I just said Test Tech 4.
That's that four. Okay, cool. So
But
is there
Johnny's
going
controlling
to
the
be is
stand.
there is there going to be like a way that the stance can like, uh progress alone without the stance user, or does he need the stance user to like do this feat?
Well, Test Tech 4 isn't sentient. The only sentient, there's only like a few sentient stands, but
Okay,
Johnny
so
will
is
be
that a yes or
doing
no?
it. But I'm just going. So, what you just say?
I said,
Oh,
is that a
are
yes
you
or no?
saying? Are you asking that? Could Johnny just do this without this
No,
like
yeah, no,
stand?
I'm asking you, is the can the stance in question do this alone without the user?
Not Johnny's, no, but
Okay,
some can.
yeah. So yeah, I would just say the proposition would have to switch to like the user in general then if the stance isn't able to do this alone. Go ahead.
Well, some. I mean, I can't just say yes or no because some stands can act on their own and some
Yeah,
can't.
yeah, yeah, I get
No,
what
I
you're
mean,
saying
LOI
though, but
can't.
like this stance in question can't. You just said that.
The stand I'm referring to, you asking about that?
Yeah, he can't do any of his abilities alone. So we'd have to have some type of, user, which is Johnny or whatever
Yeah,
you
yeah,
said.
Johnny. Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So Test, but he's controlling Test Tech 4, and Test Tech 4 would open
okay,
through
so
infinity.
okay, so okay, are you backtracking now and saying that he can like do this, but he has to have a user? That would just be backtracking the proposition then, since you just said earlier the proposition would just be the stance itself bypassing infinity. But the stance can't really do anything if he doesn't have a user.
Well, yeah, that's how all stands work in JoJo for the most part.
Okay, so I'm confused.
Yeah, but Johnny's controlling Tusk Tag 4 to do it.
Okay, cool. So I would just say you have to like scale the stance to the user then. Just
I don't
since
know
these things are
about.
corresponding to each other.
Well, Johnny can't. Tusk Tag 4
And
can.
correspondence, I just mean this X can utilize P without P being existent to X.
I'm gonna just say no. I ain't gonna cap.
So you said no, he can't. All right, we can
Well,
go
I
Google
mean,
then.
just stand, like they're being controlled by someone. Like the
Yeah, yeah,
stand. So
yeah.
like
I'm
the
saying
stand,
like
but a person couldn't like if the stand is able to move at like MFTL, the person
yeah,
can, but the
I
stand
see what you're
can.
saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but like I said, X can't be utilized if he doesn't have P, right? P would just be reference to like the character in question. If the character isn't, existent or whatever, then the stance user can use his ability.
Mm,
Okay, so do you want to conclude or not?
include. So
All
are
right,
you just?
W.
No, I said
You just said conclude. What? Why are you backtracking, bro? What's going on?
I said
You said nah. What? What do you mean
I
nah?
said no, no. I'm not concluding. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, okay. So I'm actually to give some reason. Then you heard what I mean, you did
Yeah,
hear my
yeah,
rebuttal, correct?
but Johnny's controlling the stand.
No. Okay. Yeah. No. No. That's not the point here, right? I gave a rebuttal, and I want you to respond with the rebuttal for some reason to the
All right,
premise.
say your rebuttal.
I already gave my rebuttal. I'm gonna head out.
I
All right,
need.
bet.
Let me just hear it again.
I said I gave a rebuttal, right? I want you to give the reason now to the premise.
Okay, can I hear the rebuttal again so I can give? You
All
know what I'm
right, cool.
saying?
So the rebuttal was if this user X cannot actually use his ability with the user of P was in the question of Johnny, it wouldn't be able to bypass infinity. I'm asking you to give the reason or the justification for that.
Yeah, I'll just say because Johnny's controlling Test Stack 4.
Okay, why is he corresponding to this?
What do you mean?
Like, why does Johnny scale to his stance?
I didn't say he does.
Okay, then that's a non sequitur
Why?
because he doesn't scale to his user, right? So if you're saying that this stance can use his ability, I can grant you that he can use his ability, but he can only use his ability with a user, right? If he's using this ability with a user, the user would normally scale to this as well as a feat, which is in question right now. You're saying he can cut through infinite dimensions, right? So the user would have to scale to since he's able to control the stance. I'm actually to prove that. So that's the descriptive claim
But
right now.
I'm not saying they do.
You're not saying that he does, and why?
The
Okay, so
user doesn't
why?
the user doesn't scale to their stand, but they just utilize the stand's
Okay,
abilities.
okay, but you just said earlier that the stance and the user are correspondent to each other.
I don't think I ever said that.
Yeah, yeah, you did. I have a clip, by the way. It's like all on
Do you have a
recording.
clip? Can you like play that clip now?
I mean, yeah, I played after we conclude this debate. I'll just send it to you or whatever. I'm posting this on YouTube, so. But yeah,
What's your
nah.
YouTube channel?
You literally said the stance in general cannot use the ability if it's not wielded by a user, right? So if that's
Yeah,
normally the case, the user himself would go to the stance, correct? So I'm asking you to justify that.
I'm not justifying that because they don't scale to
Okay,
their
it doesn't
they don't scale
matter.
to their
Okay, it
stand.
doesn't matter if you're applying this or not, right? If the user is able to control this stance that's able to cut through infinite dimensions, the user himself will have to scale to this feat in question, right? So I'm
That's not
asking
the
you to
case.
prove
That's not the
that.
case
What are
in
you talking
JoJo.
about?
That's not the case in JoJo
Okay, why is it not the case in JoJo's?
because this is not the case, bro. They don't scale to their
That's
stand.
question big, and I'm asking you
Otherwise,
why.
you said why they don't scale to their stand.
Yes, you just said these things are corresponding to each other. It means he will scale
Yeah,
to his stance.
they don't scale to their stand because they don't show any signs of
And you're
doing that.
backtracking again. You just said they are corresponding to each other earlier.
Yeah, I'm saying a user controls the stand, but they don't scale
If
to
the
their stand.
user is controlling the stance is able to, create this feed, would it not apply by the user, scaling to his feet or some have to this feed, correct?
Say that again for the ones in the back.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're trolling, bro. We can
I'm not
conclude, bro.
trolling. I mean, I'm not concluding because I mean, you
I mean,
concede.
it just seems like you're lost right now. I mean, I'm keep having to repeat myself, and you're not tracking. So I mean, I don't know, bro.
Are we concluding or not?
Yeah, I'll take that dub now.
What do you mean you're taking the dub? Nobody said it was a concession. What? I said we can conclude
I
they're
didn't
two
say it
different things.
was
They're
either.
distinct, by the way.
Yeah, but I'll just take that dub if you're gonna
What
conclude.
do you mean? What do you mean take that dub? I said we can conclude. Concession and conclude, it's like two different things. They're both distinct. Like police track, bro. Holy crap.
So do you concede then?
Nobody's conceding, by the way. I said we can conclude.
Yeah, but I'll just take that dub.
That's not a. Are you slow? Wait,
It's not
what?
a dub. It's not concluding.
Yo, he is
Concluding
trolling. This
is
dude is
a
trolling.
dub.
All right. All right. So you
All right, yo, yeah, bro, just give
so
verdict. He's trolling.
what's your YouTube
Okay,
though? What's your
okay.
YouTube?
So, my verdict is I'm sorry, Feisty, but you actually got cooked. I'm sorry, you actually got cooked.
All
Okay.
right, cool.
Okay.
I won't lie. I won't lie.